For question 2, I'm given two different functions, asked to evaluate them for two different inputs. And the first one, I'm given an input of 8, and my function is y equals 2x minus 5. So again, this value 8 is what's fed into the function, and once I feed it in, I'm going to just evaluate that 2x minus 5, and that'll produce the output. So I'll go ahead and plug this in. This is just going to be 2 times the quantity of 8, and then minus 5. 2 times 8 is 13, and 13, no, 2 times 8 is not 13. 2 times 8 is clearly 16, and 16 minus 5 is 11. So when I plug 8 into this function, it produces an output of 11. So the answer for 2a is 11. And now let's take a look at b. On b, I'm given an input of -3, and that's going to be fed into this function twice. Right here, it's going to get squared. Look at it. X is getting squared. What is x? It's -3. So I have to make sure I square the -3, and then I'm going to plug in an x, and then finally I'll add 2 to it. So whenever I square a variable like this, or often when I'm just substituting in general, I will use parentheses so that I can show -3 is what's getting squared. In other words, that's -3 times -3, which is +9. To that, I'm going to add a value of -3, and then finally I'll add 2 to that result. So -3 squared is 9, and then I've got a 9 plus a -3, and then finally plus 2. I guess I'll go ahead and just do 9 minus 3, that gives me 6, and then 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. So when -3 goes into this function, it produces an output of 8. So the answer for part 2b is 8.